Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're actually watching me from. See, a very big welcome to you all for joining me today. This is Certified Africa. My name is Ni Amakwe. I'm a co-founder of Certified Africa, and I'm glad to have you all here today. I hope that you can all hear me. So, welcome to Africa Fridays. Share different things, or we share on different areas, regarding Africa every single Friday at 4:30. So I'm glad to have you all here. Hey, good to have you all here with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about doing business in Africa, and I'll kind of, take my time to digest the subject the best way possible. Okay, as much as possible, to bring some type of clarity. Hey, Simon, good to have you. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. So I'll try to bring some clarity to all of you in regarding doing business in Africa as much as I can. And if you have any question as I move along, you can ask. And this can be useful to everybody, even people in Africa at the same time, people outside of Africa, but especially people outside of Africa. Because sometimes it's our desire, of course, as a company. Oh yeah, my wife's not here today. Today I'm representing Certified Africa, so yes, today I'm here alone. Hey Sherry, good to have you. It's a very long time, So I'm going to try my best to bring some clarity, because here's like I was saying earlier, that we encourage people all the time to, of course, come to Africa, not just come to Africa to visit, to do business. And I realized that there are a lot of people who actually are Africans, just like myself, who for whatever reason find themselves in America and in Europe and in the Caribbean, and they go back to visit the continent, but they never want to get involved with anything business, because sometimes it can appear a little messy, and sometimes based on the stories and things that we hear, we don't see a lot of potential in that respect of why I should decide to go into business. And I've personally spoken to a lot of people who have intentions of actually moving to the continent, but then when you talk to them about doing business, it becomes a different ball game altogether. Okay, so today I'll touch on a few things, especially for my brothers and sisters who have not visited a continent at all. I mean, this is mainly for you, because for those who have visited, at least a lot of them who want to see may have seen, but then they have to take a decision that after have seen, I finally want to, make a move to the continent. Now, for most people, based on some of the imagery and again, this is more like what do you call it, media. It's a media thing based on the imagery and things that we have about Africa. That alone is a big no for a lot of people, why they wouldn't even consider doing business of any kind on the continent, which, I mean, it can get quite scary, because some of us, the kind of pictures and images that we know about Africa, even myself, I mean, being in Africa, the kind of things that I even heard about Africa or knew about Africa was more or less like an Africa that nobody will ever want to be at. That's the reality. But again, it's our duty to spread the word that is not the case, because that's a first step for people who want to even consider doing any type of business at all on the continent. Because I don't want to go to a place that, of course, people are only living in huts and people are living on trees and it's those funny things like that. You hear a lot of funny things like that, and you wonder who is perpetuating all these things. And the funny thing I came to realize eventually is that the people that kind of spread all of these rumors and all of these things are the very people that are actually doing business in these places. And it's amazing. You see Black people especially visit the continent, and there are places they don't even want to go. But the people who use those same images to discourage us are the very people who go down to those places, because sometimes that's where the opportunities are. So I think it's our duty to go beyond that and see what's possible. And when you picture Africa, I mean, I tell people, look, there are two parts of Africa, there are two types of Africa, just like any place in this world. There's a place that any type of fun, any type of, like class that you want to have, you can find in Africa. And of course, you can find still some of the I'll say evil that is being perpetuated, some of places where people need help. Yes, you can find that as well, and you can find that in America as well. I showed some people a group of people some pictures, some from America and some from Africa, and they couldn't even tell that the one from America was actually from America, and it was a place in Florida, and they were like, whoa. That I thought this was Africa, because that's the kind of image that we have. But yes, there's some pretty bad places in America as well. So we have to clear that from our mind, and that gives us room to begin to think, okay, if I'm going to a place where a lot of people are business minded, if I'm going to a place where they are very good, talented lawyers, if I'm going to a place where they are very good doctors, they're very good engineers, very good IT specialists, then I go with a different mindset. Rather than going to help somebody, I go with going to actually impact, and of course, and also benefit in that respect. Your view in going becomes very different. And I think that's a fair start to wanting to even talk about doing business in Africa. We need to clear those images out of our mind, because it doesn't help. And again, another thing you need to understand is that Africa is not one giant place. Of course, we like to look at it as maybe one component where you can easily navigate. But again, just like any other place, like in America, you can decide to do business in Texas or to do business in California. If those two doesn't favor you, you can do business in New York. So Africa is same. Although it's one big place, of course, but you need to understand that there are different places that you can actually do business and really benefit from and have impact as well. So you need to begin to also look at it in that respect. That look, this is a place that has so many different angles to it. So whatever it is that your field is, there's a place that you can actually do that. If you're somebody who is into, I know if Sherry is watching, she's into the legal field. If you're an attorney who you're into let's say you're into oil and gas law. I mean, there are some countries in Africa that have oil, like Ghana, Ivory Coast, and some other African countries, Nigeria and other parts, where it's very crucial to utilize your skill or your knowledge in oil and gas law to have an impact. So you begin to look towards that side. But once you consider Africa as one big place, and you just picture it as just, there's no different places where different things function best, then you lose focus, or you lose hope that, okay, what am I going to do? Once I know I can't do anything here, then I'm not going at all. Or if I'm going, I'm just going to have fun in Zanzibar and come back, which is good. The fun is also good. But hey, let's begin to look at doing business on this beautiful, beautiful continent. Okay, so think about it. Africa is going to be, in no time, the new China, if you like, the new China. Today, think about it. Everything you can think about, manufacturing to whatever, China. And Africa is growing to become that new place where everything actually takes place. So again, no matter the field that you're thinking about, whether it is small or big, you're looking at a continent that size that you can have access to, okay, to do any type of thing that you want to do. You can do it in Ethiopia, you can do it in Rwanda, you can do it in Ghana, you can do it in Sierra Leone. Like, this is with so many people at your disposal. So it does not matter what it is. Look, don't look at just the bigger picture. Look at the small picture. If I say small picture, in terms of what you want to do, doing something, starting from somewhere and then building it back up. And Akon puts it best. He says that Africa is a place you can go to, and then you can build a Fortune 500 company from scratch within 5 years. Think about it. And I know a lot of people who are in America who are building a lot of things, and for so many years, I mean, little progress. Of course, you have to, but those same people, when they take those talents, gifts, and abilities and resources and they channel it into a continent that is growing like Africa, like, they're able to do exploits. So that's some of the things you want to begin to think about, that, hey, this is a place that I have so many things at my disposal. So many people, okay? So many people, 1.2 billion people. Think about it. 1.2 billion people. That's more than the people you can have access to in America. So, hey, what are you waiting for? And the things that we talk about, the things that I talk about, we're actually doing. Okay, we're doing. I'm not just telling you to come do business in Africa. I'm telling you to come doing business in Africa because I do same and I believe in it and I know it works. Okay, and that's why I will encourage somebody to actually take a chance and begin to look at it. I can't begin to tell you about opportunities in that respect. It's so much. And today I had a conversation with one man from Kenya, but he's in New York. And we're talking about, two fields, like agriculture mainly, and we're looking at education too, as two huge sectors with so much to be done. And we're looking at how we could, interchange between the West Africa and then East Africa where he's coming from. And we're looking at all the numerous ways that whatever it is that we're producing, and he's already doing so much in East Africa, in Uganda, and then in Kenya. And I'm telling him some of the things that we're building in Ghana. He's like, whoa, we can actually collaborate between the West and then the East to build something huge in education and then in agriculture. And that's the beauty of Africa and having all these people, okay, where you can look at somebody from somewhere else. You start building something from Senegal, and then it spreads out to maybe the East, to Ethiopia. That's the beauty of having such a wide scope. It doesn't mean you can't do it anywhere in the world, you can't. But Africa presents a unique opportunity of a place that is growing. In America, things are kind of, they're fast growing, yes, which is good. But it means that there's so much competition. Competition is good, but not when you have a place where you have room to be able to build. And let me be honest with you. Today I'm going to be very frank and very calm and try and see how I can break this down for you in terms of doing business in Africa. I've met a lot of people in America. I've met a lot of people who have a lot of potential, who have some resources that they think is not even enough. But in American standard, it's not enough. That's the reality. It's not enough because they can't even do much yet. But those same people, when I open their eyes and tell them that, hey, look, in your status, as you are now in America, that maybe nobody respects you for maybe what you have or what you've accomplished. With those same gifts and talents and abilities and little resource that you have, I'm telling you, there's a place that you'll be 10 times more valued. And that small resource that you have that you think is small could be put to good use because there's a place that there's need. And once there's need, once you're solving those problems, it grows to become big. And in no time, you become so relevant in your life than you can ever imagine being relevant wherever in the corner of anywhere in America. And I open that to them and say, hey, look, don't look at yourself in America and think you're insignificant. Fine. Per American standard, maybe they think you're insignificant, but you're not. That's a reality. You're not. Because maybe what you can do, so many people are doing it in America. So therefore, of course, it may appear that your value is limited. But I'm saying there's another place too that presents unique opportunity, unique room for your gifts and abilities and your know-how to be utilized to the maximum. I'm telling you, then you can imagine. And the beauty about doing business in Africa is that eventually, once you're building that thing, you will now be recognized on the world stage. That's a reality. Now, when we're having conversations, they look at you as you here, representing a very big subset, which is Africa, and then other people who may not, of course, count at all, because in America, you need to maybe push to a high limit before you can even be recognized. There are people who are sitting at certain tables by doing something in Africa, and if they were in America, they would have been very insignificant on the world stage. Nobody would have, recognized them to even have a seat at the table. That's a reality. So these are things to begin thinking about. That hey, I'm presented with such a unique opportunity when it comes to doing business, on the continent. And another thing that people need to also be aware is that, Africa has a lot of, young people that are, coming up. And I say this sometimes it's funny, but Africa will give birth a lot. We've given birth a lot over the years. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters that were taken from Africa, we've refilled in terms of production. We've produced a lot in terms of children. So it presents a unique opportunity in terms of the growing middle class. Young people that have now gotten to a place where they can actually afford to buy things. And these guys are intelligent. If you've met some Africans here, maybe in America, in the UK, in Europe, or wherever, you see how intelligent and smart these Africans are. And you have 10 times more of these people on the continent. So think about it. You're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're a business-minded person, you're what do you call it? You're a hairdresser, whatever it is that you know how to do, okay? Or you somebody who just has little money somewhere, some life insurance money you got, you know, you don't know what to put it into. When you bring that money down to Africa, the thing is that you're going to meet a lot of people with so much potential that every day are building different things. That with that type of energy and that type of people, you guys can join forces together and build something unique and amazing. And this has been done. Trust me, this has been done. This is not the first time. It's been done. And every single day it's been done. So for those of us who are not getting involved, I feel like we're being left out because people are doing it every single day. You don't need so much. That's the thing. You don't need so much. But you can start from somewhere. And with a unique talent and a unique, you know, purchasing power that the middle class now possess in Africa. And here's one funny thing too. Let me just chip this in. Sometimes you're in America, you're in Europe, you're in other places, and you think that maybe you're so advanced, like, you know, whoever you are, whether you're a lawyer or whoever, you think you're so advanced, and you come to Africa, you come to Ghana, for instance, and you go out, and you see other young people just like you who are in Ghana, and these guys are doing so well, like they're 10 times smarter, like if whatever car you're driving in America, they're driving 3 times more than that. And you meet these guys and you're surprised. You're like, whoa, are these guys actually in Africa? And I thought I was doing what? The outfits you're wearing, you think you're so tough, like you're so rich and you're so doing well. You come to Africa, you go to Ghana, you go to Nigeria, wherever, you meet these young guys who are in the middle class, who are also doing it. If you're a lawyer, some of them are lawyers. If you're an engineer, some of them are engineers. And these guys are wearing better clothes and, you know, they're driving better cars and they're doing so well. And then you begin to wonder, so I mean, what's the difference between me being here and they being here? What I'm saying to you is that when it comes to doing business, the people that you will find in Africa that you can actually do business with, amazing people. Amazing people. So many amazing people that you can actually sit down with and dialogue and brainstorm about whatever it is that you're doing. And once you put it out, now the people who will buy are within those same people because they can afford it. That's a reality. If it's services, they'll be able to afford those services. And eventually you realize those services are much needed at these places. You know, so we really have no reason not to begin to think about doing business in Africa. Okay. I'm not going to give you some strange things. I'm just talking about realities. Okay. The bare truths that are happening. Somebody could give you an perspective, but I'm telling you the bare fact that, hey, look, Africa presents such a unique room for us to be able to do so much on the continent. I'm telling you, sometimes when I sit down, I think about the potential. Let me tell you, if some people in Africa, some of the people in Africa, of course, some set of people in Africa, if they had little of the resources that some of us in America have that we think is not even enough, if they have a little bit of that, the way they'll channel those resources into something amazing. When you ever see anybody in Africa who, of course, wants to make it to America or to Europe or anywhere, and some of them maybe may use so many different means to be able to make it there, not that there are no opportunities where they're coming from, no, but because because they just want access to maybe some little resource that you being outside, if you have that ability to maybe get a hold of something that you think is small, but they just need that. So think about all the friends you know who are Africans that are in America. When they get access to small funds, look at the things that they're able to channel that into. And for most of them who become very smart, find their way somehow back to the continent. And if you see the things that they've built, and for some of them, they may not even move to the continent. But when they show you their houses and the businesses they built back home, you'll be amazed. You'll be in America with them, you're walking the same streets with them. But trust me, if you go back to where they're coming from, the kind of things that they've built, the kind of impact that they've had, I'm telling you, you're nowhere near that, maybe until you die. So I'm simply saying that there's room back home that we can actually do that. So there's nothing wrong with being in America. There's nothing wrong with being in Europe or anywhere. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that, look, at the same time, you can actually look at Africa, you can do so much. And like I said, we are living testimonies of that because we're doing both. We're doing both. Okay, we're doing both. So I'm not saying pack bag and baggage one day and get up and say, I'm not coming back to America. No, I'm not saying that. If you do that, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but at the same time, don't just sit here and assume that there's no opportunities. I cannot do business in Africa because of AYZ. No, because that's not realistic enough. Trust me, that's not realistic enough. That's not a type of that's not the best way to look at Africa. Okay, that's not the best way to look at Africa. And right now, with this whole continental free trade agreement that is happening, where now it becomes easier for people to be able to get through the continent. In other words, when you're somebody who is able to come up with a product. Now, today in America, when you come up with a product, Amazon has so much that it's even difficult for you to compete with Amazon in America because everything you come up with is in Amazon. People sit at home and then they order it. But maybe you're somebody who can do a hair product. If you do that hair product in Africa, within the African continent alone, the rate at which people will buy that, you don't even need to ship it to America or anywhere. Today, I was talking to the gentleman I was talking about earlier on from Kenya, and he's in New York. He's doing business in Kenya and in Uganda and some other African countries. And I was sharing with him something that I was doing in Ghana. And I was like, well, what does he think about the potential in terms of bringing that here, shipping that to America and then to other parts of the world? He was like, look, you don't need that. He said, you don't need that. He said, this very thing that you're doing. He says that if you bring that to East Africa, this is so huge that you'll be able to sell it outright. You don't even need any other part of the world. That's what he told me today. And I'm like, whoa, this is huge. I've always known that, but that very product I was thinking about that I'm working on, I was looking at maybe taking it outside. But he's saying, look, right here in Africa, you can't even finish selling that. So don't even begin thinking about anywhere outside of Africa. And that's the unique opportunity that is presented to you, whatever it is that you're trying to sell. For those who have things that you can make. I meet a lot of people. I'm working with a lady right now, and she's able to make different types of hair products. Very unique one that she makes. She's been doing it somehow here in America. And I was telling her, I said, look, she's coming to Ghana. And I said, look, if you bring this thing to Ghana and you come and make it, trust me, you have no huge competition like you may have in America, where somebody can take their phone, go to Amazon, and even enter your product, and they may find the same thing on Amazon. And in the next second, they bring it. But you are now come to ship, and it will take like 1 week to get to the person. But somebody can order the same thing on Amazon, and it takes 2 days or overnight shipping, and then they have it. But in Africa, you have a unique opportunity because maybe it's going to be just you among many. So if you can do that hair product in Ghana, seriously, and you can manage to cross the border, take it, find a buyer in Togo that can spread it in Togo. You can find another buyer to spread it to Nigeria, find another buyer to spread it to Sierra Leone. By the time you finish selling on the west coast of Africa, you've made your money. That's the reality. And you didn't even have to ship it anywhere to America or anywhere. And nobody's going to sit in Sierra Leone and then order the same thing on Amazon for it to come in 1 week. Nobody is going to do that. So you have a unique opportunity that you have access to. So let's not take doing business in Africa for granted. Let's not look at it as this gigantic thing that only few people can get involved with. No, the common man like myself can actually do business in Africa. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to have so much to be able to do. You don't need to be a millionaire to be able to do business in Africa. Think about yourself as the ordinary man, like myself. I mean, I can do business in Africa, and I'm doing business in Africa. So can you. And then you start building gradually. By the time you realize you've made so much, you've made so much. Because once you have the numbers going for you, that's it. That's it. That's it. And you do just fine. So don't take it for granted at all. Don't take it for granted at all. Okay, and in terms of profits and all of that, I mean, you're going to make some good profits as well. You're going to make some good profits. I can tell you, you're going to make some good profits with time. You're going to make some profits that you can't even begin to imagine. Look, every black person who's living in America, if you're watching me right now, and maybe in America, you're not building anything that anybody can say, whoa, this is something huge that this person is building. I'm telling you that give yourself a chance. Find a plane ticket. Talk to somebody, maybe like myself, like somebody who is into Africa and is into doing business in Africa and stuff like that. Talk to them. Find somebody who is credible. It's not going to just look at some gang. Talk to somebody credible, and then see what you can do on the continent. If you've never considered that, I'm telling you, begin to think about that. What can I do on the continent? Just begin to think about that, and begin to find something little. Maybe being in America, you don't have anything that you're building. Make a sacrifice and say, look, I want to build something bigger than myself. Bigger than myself. I want to give it a chance. Maybe in America, I'm building nothing. I'm just going to my 9 to 5, which is okay. But I want to capitalize on being black and being connected to Africa and build something. So if I'm going to take $50 or $100 every single time out of my 9 to 5 and see what I can channel that into, just do it. Like, just give it a try. Talk to somebody and give it a try. And I'm telling you, your lifetime, if you never thought about building anything, Africa is going to give you the opportunity to build something. And for most of you who maybe somebody has disappointed you some time ago, so because you've given up on everything, building anything and all of that, please, look, rethink it. Things happen, but rethink it and begin to give it a shot. And like I said, talk to the right people and talk to the best people that you can think about or you can actually imagine. Okay. Now, when it comes to doing business in Africa, sometimes we tend to want to do everything on our own. Okay. And I tell people, you cannot do everything on your own. You cannot do everything. Maybe you're looking at me, you're maybe you don't have so much money saved in the bank, maybe like myself, but some through your hands as and when. Okay. Or maybe you're somebody just like maybe myself, you don't have any huge money stocked up in the bank, but you have some serious idea that you're willing to go to an extent to put a plan together. Maybe you're that type of person. Here's what I encourage people to do. Once you have that type of focus, find another person who may have some little resource, maybe not extravagant, that you guys can bring your energies together and say, hey, we share common, thought and common vision and all of that. Let's bring our resources together. Bring my passion, my passion of building things, and you bring that little money that you have. Let's find a partner in Africa, and then let's see what we can build together. Do that. And I'm telling you, with little to nothing, you'll be on your way to building something unique and extraordinary. I'm telling you. And what I'm trying to let you all understand is that Africa has room for everybody, no matter your level. There's room for you to be able to build anything that you want to build, no matter your level. You just have to come in where you can. If it is you're the type that has an idea but don't have the resource, find who has a resource, join hands together, and then be able to. If you're the type that have the resource but no idea is coming through, find somebody who has the idea and then build something. There's a man who shared a story one time, and he's African American, and he once visited Ghana. He saw a young lady who was planting some tomatoes, at her backyard. And they had a conversation, and he thought that this lady was very serious and she has a lot of potential. She has been to school. She's very smart, but then of course she was doing her little farming here and there, waiting for, I guess, that big break, but she was still doing something. So when they had a conversation, he was very intrigued by this lady. So all he decided to do was to make sure that this is somebody who is very passionate, that he can trust. That's all he needed. He had a resource. Okay, he had a resource. He needed somebody who was passionate about their business and he can trust them. So he trusted this lady. This is a much elderly man. He's a doctor, Very good doctor. He's called Dr. Suarez, I think. And he built this relationship with this young woman. And today, because of that trust, that engagement that he had, today this man handles all his businesses across the continent. And in fact, outside of the continent, to the Caribbean and other parts. Just by encountering that one person who has the passion to go about their business, and he had the resources and the ideas that he wanted to cut across, and he had this girl who was so passionate and he could trust her, and today they do a lot of businesses together. What I'm saying is that you don't have to have it all. You can have one side, but that's the beauty of partnerships, that we can come together and collaborate. You have this, I have that. Let's bring it together and see what's possible. So look, you have no excuse to say that, oh, I don't have the resources. No, maybe you have the passion. Maybe you have the idea. Something has come to your mind you think is a stupid idea. No, it's not. Find somebody who can align with you. Somebody who has a little drive as well, who has some resources. And you guys should join hands together. And I'm telling you, there's no limits to what you can do when it comes to Africa. So begin to think about that. So doing business in Africa, like I said, shouldn't be something complex. Like when I say doing business in Africa, maybe you're picturing some huge something. No, it shouldn't be that complex. Very simple things that you can begin to put your mind to that will now grow to become huge things, because we are all extraordinary people. But maybe we're not seeing ourselves that way. But when we begin to steps, we begin to see how extraordinary we can become. And as far as Africa is concerned, I'm telling you, you can do extraordinary things. Don't let anybody discourage you. No. There may be some few negative stories that you may hear about people who did business and it didn't succeed. No, that's not your portion. So don't begin to consider those things and let that discourage you. Because if you accept you have tried and you failed, even at that, you shouldn't still be discouraged. But most of us have not even attempted. But we're listening to what we've heard about other people and their experiences. That's not our story. We can learn from their story and then do better. But let's not allow anybody to discourage us as to what's possible for us. Okay, let's not allow anybody to actually do that. And there are a lot of you who already have businesses here that are not so huge of a business. Maybe you have a little cupcake, business somewhere in one corner, in one city that you're selling. But that cupcake that you have is a unique recipe that you can find a partner in Africa. Bring that little thing that you do here in your little city to Africa, and let's say you bring it to Ghana, you have access to a whole country now. Because maybe nobody may have that unique recipe over there. Even if they have, it wouldn't be a huge, it wouldn't be very competitive for you to be able to get it. So you take that little idea that you have here, doing your little cupcake, can't make it to the continent, somehow make a sacrifice, find flight ticket, find just one good partner. You can talk to people like myself, different networks, talk to people, and then build some relationships before you get to the continent. Your focus is that I want to take that special, simple cupcake I do in my little town to Africa, to Ghana, to Nigeria, to wherever you choose, because you've had a trusted partner, and your cupcake will start moving from 5 cupcakes to 10 cupcakes to 20 cupcakes, 50 cupcakes, 100 cupcakes. The time you realize you're producing thousands of cupcakes in a country that before now you had no idea of. But just that small idea is now doing so well. And when you begin to serve thousands of people, 10,000 people, 20,000 people on the continent, you begin to see monies that you never imagined that you could see. Because maybe your entire life, all you were picturing was the little city that you were in America. That's where your people know you, and that's where they buy your cupcake. But you've been now be open to a whole new world that you never thought of in the beginning. And you didn't have to start by investing some huge money into. You just started by finding a trusted partner, and then started by 10 cupcakes, 20 cupcakes, and it's become huge. When they talk about this particular red velvet cupcake, it's you that they know about, and it's unique. A lady have tried it. There's a place called Cupcake Boutique in Ghana, and she's doing so well. She started from somewhere, and today she's built a huge brand, created a nice space, and now have so many branches in Ghana. Everybody goes there to get beautiful cupcakes. And you do something too. You do something. It doesn't matter what it is. You do something that presents a unique opportunity for yourself when it comes to the continent. So look at the bigger picture, but at the same time, look at the smaller picture. in terms of starting from somewhere and then building from there. So doing business in Africa, like I said, is not something too complex. It's not something too complex. You can actually start from somewhere, and by the time you realize, you've made it all the way to the top. And things that you didn't believe you could be doing before, you begin to see yourself doing them. You'll be like, whoa, I thought I was ordinary in America, but hey, I can be extraordinary somewhere else. Okay. Now, and some of the mistakes that people do, which I think I've touched on it. Which I think I've touched on it briefly. You know, that the idea of wanting to go solo, People sometimes can be greedy and stingy because they don't want to involve in anything, in any plan, any agenda, anything. If you walk alone, you eat alone, you die alone. So you want to begin to think about partnership and collaboration, or finding from what other people have done, you know, learning from other people, getting help from other people who have walked the walk. That, hey, how did you do this? Guide me, be able to do that. But because you feel like if you have to reach out to somebody to help you, maybe you need to make a little sacrifice, or they can get something small, some little something. So you want to think that you can do everything on your own. That's disastrous. You give up, you get discouraged, and it doesn't help. Okay, I always tell my wife that, you know, if I can get $50 and I can get zero, I'd rather take the 50, make a little sacrifice and take the $50. But some people, they rather take zero than to get $100, which is quite problematic. So if you're going to give 20 away to go to get 70, they rather lose the entire 100. That's not a good way to. So if you have to make a little sacrifice to be able to get ahead when it comes to doing business in Africa, you want to begin to think about it. Sometimes you need to let go of something. You need to get somebody on board and say, hey, you can take 20%, I'll take 80, or you can take 50, I'll take 50. Your 50%, even your 10%, if that thing is thriving, your 10% could be so much more. But out of greed, is it I get 100 or I don't do it at all? And you never get started. And you live in your small city, never make any headway. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's not when you want to. When you think about doing business in Africa, don't think like that. Don't think partnerships. Think collaborations. Think who I can get help from. Just think about that. And what can I give in order to get what I want? Begin to think in that respect. And I'm telling you, that's one of the good ways that you can begin to look at doing business on the African continent. That's some of the ways you can begin to look at it. And in terms of the opportunities, they are enormous. Okay? They are enormous. The opportunities are enormous. I always tell people, if I start mentioning business opportunities in Africa, we'll not live here today, but they're enormous. And I've talked a little about the little things that you do that can have a lot of impact on the continent. The little things, they're very key. They're very key. So begin to think about that. That, hey, what are the little things that, you know, that I do here that can generate a lot of revenue for myself and my family? That's building generational wealth right there. Okay, and they're enormous. Africa needs literally everything. Everything you can imagine, Africa needs it. And there are things that, of course, also sell more or do well. So sometimes you need to find out. That's why you need to talk to somebody. That you may have an idea, but there's some that work better than some. So you weigh all the pros and the cons, and then think about how you could get involved in that space. And there are a lot of you who are saying, for me, I'm not entrepreneurial enough. You know, I'm not like an entrepreneur. I'm all about the job. Yes, even in terms of the job, there are a lot of contracts that you can begin to even look at when it comes to Africa. There are a lot of contracts and opportunities in that respect. And there's some of you who are not even valued in your workplaces in America, but you have unique expertise that other places you'll be so much valued. Maybe you're an anesthesiologist. Yeah, you do anesthesia. Yeah, but maybe where you working, you're not so much valued. You can be an expert somewhere else. Yeah, you can be an expert somewhere. Maybe you're a caterer wherever you are, but you're not valued so much because you're working for somebody else. Yes, and they don't value you. Somewhere else, you'll be an expert caterer because you present a unique experience and background. So these are some of the things. Maybe you're into radio and television, but you're in some local radio station that they don't even value you. But with that same expertise that you have in that little radio station maybe if we bring that expertise some part of Africa, the world is a global village. A lot of people don't like to travel. That's the problem. But once you become open to travel and you don't mind spending a year, 2 years, 3 years somewhere just to get it going, that little radio show that you host that people don't value, with that voice that you have, and you bring it somewhere in South Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, and wherever, maybe you present a unique, gift to the station or wherever you're going to work, and then you now be valued 10 times more than you can. There's a lady who wanted a job in America in the media, television. She wasn't valued so much. She never had a frontline role. She never had opportunity. And she made her way to Ghana. And once she came to Ghana, she applied to a media place. When she came and she went for an interview and she began talking, just the American accent that she had alone got her a front seat row, because they've always been looking for somebody with that type of outlook, just in the way they present and they speak. And her voice alone and accent got her a frontline job that she never would have gotten in America. So that's how your talent as well, your gift as well. If you're the type who wants to serve and you don't necessarily want to start anything or be involved in anything businessy, that you still have room. There's still room for you to be able to, get involved and have an impact. So, hey, all of us can do business in Africa. All of us. If you've been following from the beginning, you should begin to see that no matter the space you find yourself, no matter the area you find yourself, no matter how complex sometimes people make it look, even sometimes including myself, how complex sometimes we make it look, you realize that all of us, no matter how ordinary we are, we can actually do something. We present unique talents and gifts and abilities, and we can have a great impact. And you see, I know people who, from where they're coming from, some of them from Germany, some of them from Europe, from wherever, they're nobody. Like, nobody will give them a light of day. But if they're taking a chance, travel to other places, and they are kings in those places. They are like saviors in those places. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you're serving, what I'm saying is that you're valued somewhere. There's somewhere that you're so much valued that where you are, the people think that you don't have so much value. Like, who is this guy? Nobody will give it a light of day. If you don't go somewhere and shake someone and say, hey, my name is Dr. This, or I'm Barrister This. You don't have a title, a big title attached to your name. Sometimes people don't pay you any mind. There are places that people actually pay you mind. Not because you have a title attached to your name, that you're engineer this or lawyer this or whatever title you have for your name, or Nyamakwe, DCD. There's a lot of titles people add to their name, PhD. You may not have any of those titles like myself. I don't have any title, but I've missed it. So, you may not have too much title, but what I'm saying is you're valued somewhere. So whatever it is that you can do, that's a unique opportunity. For once, at this stage of my life, I don't value titles anymore. So I don't care whether you have DCD, PhD, whatever attached to your name. That's great. But I don't live my life based on that. That doesn't intimidate me. Okay, but of course, it's a great accomplishment for most people. We need such people in our society. But the reality is that the fact that you don't have that attached to your name doesn't mean you don't bring anything unique to the table. That's what I just want you to understand, that you have something unique that you bring to the table, that you have to understand. And when I talk about doing business in Africa, what I'm saying is that whatever it is that you can bring to the table, it can be so unique somewhere else that you don't need a title by your name to feel relevant or to be relevant to society, to be relevant to the business space in terms of what you can do and what you can contribute. That's all I'm saying. So doing business in Africa is not that complex. It's not that complex. You can decide to complicate it, yes, but you can also make it very simple for yourself. Okay, and you can build something beautiful and something amazing. I'm telling you, there's room for you. There's room for me. There's room for everybody. So hey, let's go make hay while the sun shines. We don't have two lives to live. We don't have two lives to live. I'm telling you, we don't have two lives to live. We have just one life. So as long as we have life, hey, let's go make something happen. Let's go make something. Once COVID is off, start saving. Think about coming to Africa. Think about coming to Ghana. Think about talking to somebody. Hey, look, Ask the person, hey, look, what problem can we solve in this area? What problem? No matter how small, what can we solve? What can we solve? Once you discover the problem, find who can be a part of it. Even if you need 5 people to be part of it, find them. Begin that process. You realize that you begin to be part of something bigger than you ever thought you could ever be part of. So it's possible. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. There's no two ways about it. Let's go do it. Okay? Let's go make it happen in Africa. And I'm telling you, it's very, 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 very possible. It's very possible. We can do it. Others have done it. What makes you that you cannot also do it? Okay, what makes you say, what makes you feel that you cannot also do it? You can also do it. You can do it. It can get risky, but yes, risk brings a lot of rewards. People have succeeded. Yes, they've yielded a lot of rewards. And you who maybe you thought that, hey, I never would have done anything that big or that important or that impactful. Today, I can also be proud that, hey, look, I'm making something happen. I'm making, maybe before you never thought there was anything you could do. I'm telling you, you could do. There's something you could do. So much. There's so much you could do. Don't begin to discourage yourself. If one thing doesn't look like it's on the bright side, there's another thing that may be. So don't give up yet. If you're an American, you're tired of living and you're about to give up, hey, don't give up. I'm telling you, we can crown you king somewhere else. Yeah, maybe here you're tired of, you're about to give up. No, just holding a little bit longer. Find some money and take a flight ticket one way. Make your way to Ghana. Find a good family to connect with. In no time, your life can turn around. Then you realize that, whoa, I nearly gave up life. But meanwhile, there's a whole life out here. There's a whole impact. There's a whole place where my energy and my resource, my intelligence, my mere presence is actually, useful and needed in that respect. So I appreciate you all today for joining. It's been Africa Fridays, and today I just came to talk about doing business in Africa, not in the fashion that you're used to, with all the big, complications that we bring to doing business in Africa. Today I tried to just be normal in terms of calm down for us to understand that this is not as complex as we make it look, that all of us can be involved in it. All of us can be involved in it. All of us. So you can always reach out to us. Like I said, you can always reach out to us, talk, let's have conversations. If we have to give you some help, and some of the help, you may have to make some sacrifice for it. Yes, and you have to be willing to do that because it's part of the process. There's sometimes we may just have normal conversations, but sometimes we have to be willing to make some sacrifice, and it's helpful. So you can reach out to us, certifiedafrica@gmail.com. Email us, email us, and you can support us by following us on Instagram and Facebook, Certified Africa. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's also as part of the support to build a community of move makers, people who are making moves. No matter how ordinary we are, we can all do something great, because God has endowed us with a lot of abilities and giftings, So yes, just support in that respect. And if you want to relocate to Ghana, especially once COVID is over and at any point in time, the next 5 years, you can start planning from now. Talk to us. You make a little sacrifice, sow a little seed, and you be right on your way. But you build something unique and amazing. So that too, we can help you with that. You can reach out to us as well, and we'll go through that process. So thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you. Shande says there's a whole other world outside of our bubble. Yes, there is. Trust me. A whole new world. She said, this is very encouraging. Thank you so much for this pep talk. Yeah, thank you so much. Message me on WhatsApp, Eddie Marrero. Eddie Marrero, you can send us a message through, what do you call it? Instagram. You can send a message through Instagram message, and we could talk. You can email us on certifiedafrica.com, so we can set up something to have a conversation about that, or you can check Instagram. You see our Calendly, so you can set some appointment. Let's find time that we're also available, and we can have a conversation. Okay. Somebody says so true, Shani. So what about importing from Africa to America? Yeah, important to our, I mean, today I didn't want to go so much into the actual in terms of opportunities, but yes, important to Africa. It's also, is it important to Africa or from Africa? About importing from Africa to America. Yes, that also presents a very huge and unique opportunity. So I tell people, look, find in your area, wherever you are, find out companies and see the thing that they're actually buying or they're selling. Once you find the thing you're selling, go to them and talk to them and say, hey, you're selling these things. What if I can provide you with that thing from Africa or from somewhere? Then once you find that, you go to the buyer, find a buyer, start connecting the two. You take money from here, you buy from here, and then you're good. So yes, important. And a lot of people are doing that. There's a man who used to work in America, who used to work in London, sorry. And he realized that his company used to, import a lot of the things that he worked with from different parts of Africa. And he was like, whoa, if these guys are importing this thing from here before they come and produce a thing, I can actually go to where the thing is and start producing from there. So he actually left the company, went to where he could find the raw material, and he started producing the same thing that he was working with that company in Europe. So you can do that. Presents a unique opportunity. So true. Africa is on the rise. Yes, it is. Is that I agree that the imagine we see in this media is not the reality of doing business and living on a continent. In fact, many foreigners own a lot of businesses there. Yeah, they do. Trust me, they own a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses there. Trust me, they do that. And sometimes they deceive us not to actually, we those who should be taking advantage, they discourage us from actually going to do that. And they end up doing all the things that they could ever do on the continent, and we never get involved. So please don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Don't let anybody deceive you at all. Don't let anybody deceive you. It doesn't matter what you hear, that this person did that, this person did that is a dread. That is not your situation. Okay, you're unique, and I'm telling you, people have done so much, and you can also do same. So thank you all so much for joining. For all those who watched, hey, I appreciate you. We appreciate you from Certified Africa, so much. Today my wife didn't join because she lost an uncle, so we actually had the funeral right now. But I still had to honor our Friday life as much as possible. So that's why my wife didn't actually join, because she lost her uncle and we're at the funeral right now. So we appreciate you all for still joining as always. Just subscribe. You can also share some of these things, that some of these videos that we do, you can share. Let the world also see. You never know who you would impact. So thank you so much. Till we come your way again. Hey, it's been your humble servant, Ni Amakwe. Yeah, on my Instagram, I'm called Ni Africa because I love Africa so much. I love Africa so much. And I love everybody who loves Africa in that respect. All right, so God bless you all so much. Whatever you're doing, trust me, don't give up. You're going to succeed at it. And if you've not thought about Africa, begin to think about it. All right, so have a great, great, great weekend.